What's up? What's up? All right, so we're about to pick up where we left off. Last Bible study, for those of you who didn't catch it, we're reading Luke 22. We stopped at 46. This is the story of Jesus Christ and the crucifixion and the Last Supper the night before the crucifixion. Um, Jesus has just let his disciples know that he's aware that they're going to betray him. Judas has just gone to make a deal behind his back for 30 pieces of silver. And we analyzed the very important scene of him going to Gethsemane and asking for the cup to be removed from him. He says, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. So very important to let everyone know. I was not misled, but they didn't really talk that much about that part. Even Jesus had anxiety. Oh, there we go. Hold on. See, look, that's the downside. I tried to have the window open, have a nice Bible study, but I don't want to be on the block wilding, so we're gonna close the window. Anyway, um, so he went to Gethsemane, and they didn't really let me know too much about that. He was wilding out there. He's still wilding out there. Even Jesus had anxiety. Even Jesus was in agony and wanted the pain to stop. But he ended it with, nevertheless, not my will, but whose? Thine be done. Some of us are, it's like I said, when I believe this is a text where we reread it, where if you reread it, you can get real knowledge. Some of us are messing up our futures because we want it to be our will and not God's will. I know I've done that sometimes. Um, I found in my life that whenever I start to hold something in my mind more than thy will be done, God, usually it doesn't go the way that I want, or from what I've seen how the devil play, he'll give you what you really, really want, but he'll throw in a little bit of some messed up stuff. If you obsess it, if you idolize it. So I'm working very hard on, yes, I have goals that I have set for myself. Yes, I have things that I want to do, but it is not about me and what I want. It's about what God wants me to do and making sure that I am a good enough vessel and example of a human to carry out whatever God put on my heart. That's what I've been working on. It requires a lot of, people aren't really into this. Not People shy away from Christianity because it does require personal accountability, and that is not easy. At times, it can be painful. But I do think that, if you can lock in on what God wants you to do and not what I want, what I think is most important, it's hard to do because we're the stars of our own movie, so to speak. We're the stars of our own first person experience. But yeah, it's a very good thing to practice, I believe. So Jesus said, nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. And right when he said it, he said, and there appeared an angel unto him from heaven, strengthening him. Somebody say, thy will be done. Not my will. Thy will be done. You know what I mean? Like I said, this counter gonna stay. No matter who coming through, no matter how many views it shows, it stays at this number. So it might seem like I'm talking to myself, but yeah, man, thy will be done. Um, and being in agony, they said he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground. So when Jesus was in agony, wishing that this thing that he knew, this horrible thing that he knew was going to happen, that was giving him anxiety, wishing that he didn't have to do it and didn't have to go through it, what did he do? He humbled himself, said, thy will be done, and he prayed more earnestly. More earnestly. It may be a natural inclination to, sometimes when things aren't going my way, I shy away from God sometimes. I don't want to pray. I get in my feelings. Well, why is this happening? If I'm trying my hardest to do my best, why is this happening? Why does it seem like the difficulty of the game of my life is on very hard? Pause. You know what I'm saying? But what did Jesus do? He prayed more earnestly. So if we are trying to be Christ-like, when trouble comes, don't settle into that funk. You know what I'm saying? For lack of a better word, pray more earnestly if we're trying to be like Jesus in these scenarios. Continuing. And then he rose up in prayer and was come to his disciples, and he found them sleeping for sorrow. They were so sorrowful, they fell asleep. And he said unto them, why sleep ye? Rise and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. Like I said last time, I think he delivered that with just a little bit of just I don't know. I don't want to put that on the character though. And why? Okay, so let's continue into new territory here. And while he yet spake, behold, a multitude, and he that was called Judas, one of the 12, went before him, and drew near unto Jesus to kiss him. But Jesus said unto him, Judas, betrayest thou the Son of Man with a kiss? When they which were about him saw what would follow, they said unto him, Lord, shall we smite him with the sword? Now, if y'all were paying attention last time, I said I like you get your Malcolm and you get your Martin from the depiction of Jesus as well. He's this peace-loving person who heals and all of this, but he will tell his people, yo, them two swords is enough. All right. And as we see, picture, it's finally going down. They pulling up. Judas has betrayed him. You know what I'm saying? He's identified him. What I would imagine would be a kiss on the cheek, like mafia style. I don't know if I'm writing the movie. And they pulling up on him. It's going left. And Jesus, who was previously let them know, someone's gonna do this, someone's gonna do this, someone's gonna do this. He says it again. Jesus could stay quiet about it. But again, Jesus says, after telling the whole room, yo, y'all are going to betray me. He says it again. Judas, betrayest thou the Son of Man with a kiss? He calls him out again. If we're being Christ-like, don't be afraid to speak on when somebody hurts you or betrays you. Manipulation, dealing with narcissists, they can make you feel like you have to stay silent or something's wrong. Like you have to be quiet. You have to just accept this thing that they're saying or something's wrong. No, you can speak on when someone hurts you. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to learn that lesson later in life. I've encountered, unfortunately, a large amount of narcissism in my experience, and I may have had narcissistic qualities. I believe we all do to a degree, but that's something I've noticed. It's like, yo, if you say anything about what I'm saying, it's a problem. Well, if we're being Christ-like, even after saying it in private to the group, when he was exposed, he said, Judas, you doing this? Or when Judas exposed himself as a traitor publicly, Jesus was like, and pause if you play the pause game. Jesus was like, yo, you doing this? Even though he knew too, that's part of it. Jesus knows what's coming up. He still said it anyway. Don't be afraid to say it anyway, man. When they which were about him saw what would follow, they said unto him, Lord, shall we smite him with the sword? Yo, you want me to let it? Am I letting it off? We letting it off? Like what are we doing? I like that. I like that energy. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna hear me analyze this. If your crew is being Christ-like, you know what I'm saying? Jesus is about peace, but crew is ready to defend. Did not have to be told. I like that energy. You know what I mean? And one of them smote the servant of the high priest and cut off his right ear. They got busy, man. Pause. Hey, look. You know what I'm saying? Shaking the room. You know what I'm saying? Even though they outside. And Jesus answered and said, Suffer ye thus far. And he touched his ear and healed him. Now imagine what this must look like. They're coming to take Jesus. He knows something real bad is about to happen to him. They got active. Hiya! Man's lost his ear. Ah, dang, my ear. You know what I'm saying? Picasso them. Isn't that Picasso who lost his ear? And what does Jesus do? He says, Suffer ye thus far. And he touched his ear and healed him. Instantly. Jesus could have been like, get the rest of them, get them. They was what, 12 deep at this point? Someone waking up from sleeping. He could have said, get them. They was deep from what I understand. They had a lot of people in their ranks. Not a bunch, but 12 people is enough for you to get a clean getaway. You know what I'm saying? Nah, he walked up and he healed them right in front of everybody. And it's crazy because I would imagine the high priests are seeing this, but they are so dead set on capturing him. These people that he used to, that as a child, he would speak with them in the temples about they've seen him grow up and mature, Jesus. But he's disrupting their flow. They want to stop it. So they're seeing him do this, but they're so dead set on their hatred because he's messing up their normal routine that they want to kill him. Before we talked about feelings, how does the devil get into people's mind and manipulate them? I believe that we were given emotions and they can bring us to some of our highest triumphs, but they can also turn us into some of the most messed up people on the planet. They can see that Jesus is doing good, and they claim to be holy men, but look what they want to do. And he says, and then Jesus said unto the high chief priests, or unto the chief priests, and the captains of the temple, and the elders which were come to him, Be ye come out as against a thief with swords and staves? You pulling up on me like this? When I was daily with you in the temple, ye stretched forth no hands against me. But this is your hour and the power of darkness. That is powerful. I saw someone, I went to a website, Vlad TV today, and it was him and somebody, and they agreed that the devil didn't exist. That's what they said. And you scroll down in the comments on that website and you'll see something I said, and then you'll see someone under me saying, the greatest lie the devil has told people is that he doesn't exist. It is important to understand that darkness exists. If you've ever played Kingdom Hearts, y'all, you come on, man. Darkness exists. I think I'm gonna put a heartless on the cover of this. Darkness exists. You know what I mean? The game, The Darkness, as well. Very, very good game, but similar concept. You cannot have full knowledge of the importance of light without knowing that darkness is out there. And it can do this to people. This is one of the most jarring things that I've experienced. This is why I kind of keep to myself these days. I have encountered so many people who have completely changed that I was around daily because of darkness, that it has startled me. I'm still a little shook up about it. You know what I mean? It is important to understand that darkness exists and that it has an hour. Life's not going to be all sunshine and buttercups and happiness. But you can't properly defend yourself and protect yourself unless you acknowledge that darkness exists. I already know who this is. Not taking calls. I think they do like an auto. It'll stop in a minute. They do like an auto notification joint. I knew I was about to get a call. Let me see. Where we at? 46. Oh, yeah. You cannot adequately protect yourself unless you understand that darkness exists. So, like I said, life's not going to be all sunshine and happy. Just like with that phone call, I knew that there was going to be an auto call at some point. I'm pretty sure that's what that was. I'll check it after I get off. So instead of being surprised and shrinking away, I anticipated and was able to navigate around it and, do what I need to do. I'm actually helping myself out, like interpreting this. This is awesome. This is what the Bible does, man. How many of y'all have problems? How many people listening have issues now or in the future? Have issues that maybe you don't know, but you can get through it and navigate it if you anticipate it. Anticipate the hour of darkness. You know what I mean? So you can navigate it safely. Bring a lantern, maybe. Ooh. Anyway. Then they took him and led him, and brought him into the high priest's house. Now here we go. Peter's betrayal. This is the beginning of it. Jesus has told them they're going to betray him. I think Peter said, "Nah, we're going to go to jail, bruh." What'd he say? He said something about we'll go to jail about this. Prison or death, I think someone said. I believe it was him. If not, I'm sorry. I know some people like, I'm going to get the main idea right, but I'm not like a college trained theologian. Is that the right word? I'm just a guy who uses the Bible in his everyday life and is kind of bringing the world into my routine a bit. So it gives me, if you want to correct me, feel free, but it gives me clarity to go about it this way, open to interpretation, I suppose. They took him and led him, and Peter followed afar off. Sorry if that tangent was a little bit like that was a tangent before, but back to it. Oh, Jesus had told his disciples, y'all are going to do this. And I believe what Peter said was, nah, like he said, we'll go to jail about this at some point. But what did he do? He followed afar off. And when they had, now, did Jesus tell Peter to do that? Did Jesus tell Peter to do that? We'll revisit that. And when they had kindled a fire in the midst of the hall and were set down together, Peter sat down among them. But a certain maid beheld him as he sat by the fire, and earnestly looked upon him and said, this man was also with him. So Peter then followed him into, picture if God forbid the police grabbed the homie, they taking him to the cop shop. You're like, no man, I gotta go after him. The homie said they showing up. The homie already said, look, this is finna happen, and you guys are gonna betray me. In Peter's haste to follow his emotions, and he may have had a great intent. He wanted to follow after the homie, make sure he was all right. He may have had good intent, but now Peter has followed Jesus and gotten himself into a situation that he had not anticipated. He had not anticipated this. And sometimes when you're off balance, you react poorly. And he denied him, saying, woman, I know him not. Now, this is important. Peter has promised, and all of these disciples, the logical reaction if someone says you're going to betray me is to say no. But because Peter followed Jesus into this place where the high priest and everyone took him, and I'm imagining they take the homie to the police station. God forbid that happening to anyone who I know or any listeners, but this is the story. If you go in, okay, here's the scenario. You hear they looking for the homie saying they all right, they finna come get him. They take him. You follow. They're looking for everybody. The world says if you get in there and they spot you, you don't want to get caught too. So what you gonna do? If you walk into the cop shop, now everyone functions differently. Cop shop is a colloquialism for police station, by the way. You walk in there, you look around. Hey, there's the homie. Dang, there's the homie. And someone goes, "Hey, aren't you with him?" What is the instinct to say? It's logical for someone to say, "Man, no, I don't know them. I don't know him. No, I don't." It's logical for someone to say that because they don't want to get caught. And they might think, "Man, he'll understand." Like, dang, he'll understand. How many people out there, I've seen it, are putting themselves in compromising situations that no one told them to do because they're following someone who might be able to handle the situation on their own, for one. Maybe, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But once you get in that situation, you're off balance, reacting poorly, doing things, saying things that you might not do. Watch it on Love and Hip Hop. You know what I'm saying? You see it on Love and Hip Hop. Somebody, I can't even think of a storyline because I haven't watched it in so long. But someone ends up doing something foul to somebody else. And they're like, "How come you didn't hold me down?" It's because of I was in a situation. People I was around. You know, I've encountered people who change up when they get around other people. Not necessarily because they want to be bad people, but because, all right, this is the vibe here. Well, let me behave this way here. You know what I'm saying? If you're not ready to stand on who you say you are, don't follow people into compromising situations. That's what we can take from this too. Jesus said, "You gonna do this." Everybody, no. Did Jesus say, "Yo, follow me. Follow me. Come on. Go with me here." Let me scroll back up. They let him kindle the fire. Oh, let me see. I didn't see Jesus say, "Yo, come with me." Peter chose to do that on his own. And look, he got himself in a situation where he's not thinking clearly. He's trying to conceal whatever he's trying to do. I can't say all the way, but for whatever reason, he lies right there. He denies him. He denies him. Maybe he thinks Jesus won't know. But that's a lesson, man. Even if you think they won't know, man, still move righteous. Check to see if you need to be rushing into this situation. Maybe I should hang back. But now, on Peter's side as a character, I get it though. It's strange that only Peter followed him into this place. Where are the rest of the disciples? I don't know. There's a lot of things at play. But for whatever reason, Peter was the only one, and look what he did. The one thing he didn't want to do. And after a little while, another saw him. If you follow after certain people, people might see you with them and associate you with them. Be prepared. And after a little while, another saw him and said, "Thou art also of them." And Peter said, "Man, I am not." So I imagine Peter done followed him down to the cop shop. You know what I'm saying? Or what would have been an equivalent. I really, really hope. Oh God. I really, really hope that my sound has not been through my headphones this entire time. Hold on.